Today we are here to talk about power generation in northern United States. Our group name is NEMIC, and the people that will be narrating this presentation are Nicole, Matt, Ethan, and Christian.
The northern United States is located in the continent of North America. Its neighboring countries are Canada and Mexico. The estimated population of the United States is approximately 3 million people, which consists of about 4.42 of the world's population. The northern United States consists of about 27 different states. The United States has many major industries, and a few of them are oil and gas, mining, medical equipment, renewable energy, power generation, and related services. These are all huge industries affecting the economy of the U.S., but we will be more focused on power generation and renewable energies. An important thing to note is the standard voltage used in households is 120 volts at a frequency of 60 Hz.
War on currents. World's first generating plant was invented in 1882 in New York by Thomas Edison. He harnessed the power of direct current, DC. George Westinghouse saw the potential for electricity and formed the Westinghouse Electric Company in 1884, later known as the Westinghouse Electric and Manufacturing Company. He obtained exclusive rights to Nikola Tesla's part for a polyphase system of alternating current in 1888, persuading the inventor to join the Westinghouse Electric Company. There was opposition from the public to the development of the alternating current electricity. Critics, including direct current advocate Thomas Edison, argued that it was dangerous and a hazard to health, by showing what happened to an elephant when it came into contact with AC power. Westinghouse proved the viability of alternating current electricity by having his company design and provide the lighting system for an entire Columbian Exposition in Chicago in 1893, which Westinghouse proved that the reward outweighed the risk and that the hazards could be managed.
Hydroelectricity. What is hydroelectricity? Well, hydroelectricity is a term that means electricity that is generated by hydropower. This is done by using the gravitational force of falling or flowing water to produce electricity. An example of one of the biggest dams in the United States is Grand Coulee Dam. Grand Coulee Dam is the largest hydroelectric power producer in the United States. The dam has 3 powerhouses and generates about 6,809 megawatts of electricity. This hydroelectric dam has more than one purpose other than just to produce power. It is also used for flood control and irrigation. Grand Coulee Dam was constructed in 1933 on the Columbia River in Washington. In the U.S., hydroelectricity makes up for about 7% of the total power in the United States. What are the benefits and disadvantages of using hydroelectricity? Some advantages are hydroelectricity is a clean and renewable energy source. It is a reliable source of electricity. Hydroelectricity also reduces greenhouse gas emissions. Disadvantages are that it's very costly to build a dam, is that it can affect the fish and wildlife habitats as well. And that's what hydroelectricity is.
Nuclear power. What is nuclear power? Nuclear power uses energy stored in atoms to create heat made from a chain reaction in an element such as uranium. This heat then produces steam in which it powers a turbine, which then creates electrical power, which can be transformed throughout the grid. An example of a nuclear power station used in northern United States is Limerick Nuclear Generating Station. This nuclear power station is located in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. There are both advantages and disadvantages to nuclear power. Some advantages would be that nuclear power stations do not produce smoke particles to pollute the atmosphere or emit gases that contribute to acid rain, and also nuclear power produces a small volume of waste altogether, but the volume is not the problem. The waste is actually radioactive, and that's a disadvantage in itself. Also, decommissioning a nuclear power station is expensive and takes a long time because of the nuclear waste.
Solar power. What is solar power? Solar power is the process of harnessing the sun rays and converting it into electricity. A great example of solar power is Oregon Solar Highway, located on Interstate 5 and 205, just south of Portland, Oregon. This is one of the nation's first solar highways that has been built. The highway has 594 ground-mounted solar panels and is producing about 104 kilowatts of power. This project was constructed on December 19, 2008. This station was responsible for a third of the lighting needed to power the freeway. It turned out that Oregon's solar highway was a huge success, so more projects went on the way to construct more solar fields like this. Since 2008, they have succeeded in that goal in constructing a Baldock solar station, which is 6,000 solar panels producing about 197 million kilowatt hours of energy. What are some benefits and disadvantages of solar power, you ask? There are many advantages of solar power. One being that solar power is a clean, renewable energy. The cost of solar power is free and keeps on giving. Solar power also does not cause pollution. Some disadvantages are that solar power can only be collected in the daytime when it is sunny. The beginning costs to manufacture solar panels are expensive. Solar power panels themselves take up lots of space and land, which could be used for other purposes.
What is wind power? Wind power is using the wind to turn blades which is hooked up to a generator which causes it to make electricity. A great example for this is Iowa wind farms. Wind farms started to catch on in 1983 in Iowa. It is now the third top leading state in all USA in wind power. Iowa wind farms produce about 5,177 megawatts of power. This is about 27.4% of the total electricity made in Iowa. There are 3,198 utility-scale turbines that are in operation. There is about $9.8 billion invested in the Iowa wind farms. These wind farms produce about 8.7 metric tons of carbon monoxide annually. It also provides electricity to more than 1 million homes. Huge success with more projects underway. One of these being another $1.9 billion investment that predictions say should be producing about 1,050 megawatts of power. What are some benefits and disadvantages of wind power? Some benefits are that the wind turbines take up small plots of land. They are very tall, but the land below the turbine can still be used. Wind power is also a clean and renewable energy. Remote areas that are not connected to the grid can use wind turbines to supply them with power. Some disadvantages are that the wind is not constant. This means the amount of electricity that they can produce can vary. Wind turbines are also very noisy and unpleasant to live by.
Interconnects. What does interconnects mean? Well, interconnects means they are used to connect different arrangements of power grids. What are the benefits and disadvantages using interconnects? Well, one benefit of interconnects is that they can be tied to each other via high voltage direct current power transmission lines. Another benefit of interconnects is that they can be used to help areas in case of emergency when power goes out. The first example of an interconnect was used by George Westinghouse in 1896. And that is interconnects.
Fossil fuels. What are fossil fuels? Fossil fuels are actually decayed plants and animals over millions of years ago. The organic matter was then pressed down by many layers of rock and soil, which ended up turning this matter into natural gas or other fossil fuels. Some other examples of fossil fuels would be petroleum, oil, or coal. The United States gets 84% of its total energy from oil, coal, and natural gas, all of these which are fossil fuels. We depend on fossil fuels to heat our homes, run our vehicles, run the power industry, and manufacturing. Eventually, the degree in which we use fossil fuels will have to lessen on the planet because the known supplies are starting to diminish. The difficulty and the cost of tapping these remaining reserves is increasing, and the effect of their continued use on our planet grows more dire. But shifting to new energy sources will take time. In the meantime, what do we need to know about fossil fuels? In 2008, 49% of U.S. electricity came from coal, more than twice the contribution of either nuclear power or natural gas. Almost 2/3 of the oil America uses is imported from a handful of nations. The United States imports less than 2% of its natural gas from outside North America.
In conclusion, the United States is one of the world's largest energy consumers, and because of that, they are the leaders in producing and supply of energy. Today, the states produce mostly geothermal energy, secondly wind energy, and third hydroelectric. Northern United States is moving towards more clean and renewable energy, making a better future for years to come. This has been Team Nemec. Thank you for watching.